Hey, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rayge, and we are back today with a highly controversial update that now Marvel Strike Force has posted. They previously featured it in the last Strike Spot, but now we actually have official confirmation of when this new update is going live and what exactly it entails. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys missed the boat on this is called the Overpower mechanic. Let's take a look at what this means. Overpower, restoring balance to the MSF whales. MSF universe. As Marvel Strike Force has evolved over the past 7 years, so too has the complexity of powering up your characters. Character level recently reaching 105, gear tier 20, and ISO-8 purple. There is also going to be ISO-8 purple 4 and 5 levels coming later on this year, so that's a great confirmation right there. But this is exactly why there needs to be a new overpower system that's intended. So that's apparently a need, I guess. Why overpower? With so many layers of power progression, an unintended consequence has emerged. Character upgrades don't impact battles as much as they should. The hard-earned progress you earned in leveling up, gearing, and enhancing ISO-8 doesn't always translate to meaningful advantages in combat. I don't know if I agree with that. Because if you think about it, if you have characters that have similar levels, similar upgrades, I would expect both of them to feel the same. So I'm not actually as bothered by this as much, because obviously you get that gratification of upgrading your character first before your opponent. And once they're toe-to-toe and equal in level, I would expect them to be quite similar. So I'm not really too crazy about giving a specific advantage just because you invested your resources and materials into it. Now, having said that, to help restore this so-called significance of your character progression, we've designed Overpower, a system that ensures your progression matters more in battle. This doesn't require extra purchases or additional effort to acquire. It simply amplifies the power you've already built. So I just wanted to make that clear for you folks. It's not something that you're gonna have to buy and whatnot. It's a new mechanic built in to what you're currently already doing in the game. Key benefits right here, as you can see. It restores the impact of character progression, unlocks new layers of strategy with additional combat and stat bonuses. I don't know about that either. It automatically scales as you continue investing in your characters. Yes, we know that's going to be automatic. And then easier character progression comparison as it's summarized into a single score. True, they're going to be able to summarize it into a few ranks, right, as you can see, right? So this is how it ultimately works, guys, and hopefully this gives you a bit more clarity on now how this mechanic is going to be driven in each and every one of your characters that you upgrade. So Overpower is going to feature 12 ranks in total. Essentially, these ranks become available depending on which milestones and which upgrades you've already made. So the good news is you don't, like I said, you don't really need to do anything. It's more so now you're gonna feel some power differences if you're up against whales and dolphins and spenders, knowing full well that you may not have fully invested in certain characters. For me, being a free-to-play, highly engaged endgame player, I don't max a lot of my characters, so I am for sure going to feel this against the dolphins and the whales that I'm up against. I would say the one few area that I do maximize and bring all my characters to the utmost highest ranking is usually in my arena meta, because I'm competing toe-to-toe with some of these whales and dolphins and staying in the top 10. But even in that setting, I don't think I'm going to be able to last now, because there's going to be some significant advantages depending on these rankings. So let's go through those rankings. So you'll see a lot of these are already unlocked if you push your character to the max. So it starts as early as level 90. Level 90, gear tier 17. Then they have the ISO-8 blue purple level 3. Character level 95. Gear tier 18. ISO blue 5. Character level 100. Gear 19. ISO-8 purple level 3. Character level 105. So most folks are probably going to stop right there for the utmost majority until we get more access to gear tier 20, because that's 11. And then number 12, this is again going to be released later on, but ISO-8 level 5 for purple ranking is going to be, it looks like, immediately what the ceiling is going to be right now in the short term anyways. And you can see even with ISO-8 purple 5, this is still unobtainable at launch, which is in just a few days. So during battle, when Overpower activates, when a character with a higher Overpower ranking engages a lower ranking opponent, this system does not activate or provide any bonuses when two characters have the same Overpower rank. So essentially, in the PvP setting with Crucible, War, as well as Arena, so as long as you're leveling all your characters to what your opponent is, you guys will go toe-to-toe then. And it won't be as significant as a difference. So in the grand scheme, if you're already a player that maximizes all these upgrades and benefits, then you may not even feel it, to be honest. Obviously, having said that, they can for sure change this up in the future, right? They can add red stars as an example. They can add diamonds. So thankfully, this won't be as obvious. So in the meantime, right now, even when I'm looking at this, it should be still very, very similar to my arena experience. So as long as I'm not against opponents that have gear tier 20, because right now purple 3 level 105 is the current max of what I'm using, and everyone's saving gear tier 20 for Age of X. So hopefully I'm not up against players that are bringing them up already, and if they are, well, guess what? They're going to be getting a bonus. And what exactly are those bonuses? Well, they talk about it real briefly here, right? They don't exactly have everything kind of polished out yet, but I'll give you an example here of one overpower rank over another. You're already getting an extra 50% damage and 50% focus. So this is going to be active during launch. There's something to be on the watch over. So they still say here that strategy is key. It's not going to display synergies and whatnot, but this is the thing, right? If this is just one ranking difference right here, and you know right away that they're going to be gaining additional damage and focus. So even if you have a good counter in war, let's say, right, maybe you're a couple of gear tiers off, maybe you're a couple ISO-8s off as well as levels. Well, even if you have a good counter, the punch up might not be as pervasive now. It might not be as big. So I think it does the opposite, in my opinion. I think it takes away from the strategy. I don't think strategy is still key, because now this is going to make that overpowering, the higher, larger teams are going to have a lot more advantages than they already had before, right? For some of my teams, when I'm countering in war, I may not have the best counter, but I overpower my opponent with sheer power, and now this is going to be even more obvious. So I think it actually does the opposite. My 2 cents, guys, I think it takes away from the theory crafting and strategy. I think this is a big setback, because a lot of folks were able to use strategies and whatnot when you're able to go toe-to-toe. Even if you had lower level teams, you could actually figure out some creative ways to take down some teams based on those synergies against that team dynamic. So in my opinion, anyways, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below, though. I'm always eager to hear back how you guys feel about it, but I think this is actually going to take away from the strategy, and as a result of that, I'm calling it a bad update, but we will see in the meantime, guys. I'm a wait and see kind of guy. Probably likely going to get impacted very significantly with me being free to play, and I min-max my roster quite a bit. So we'll see, guys. Alliance War, Crucible, Arena, and Real-Time Arena is where this is going to be impacted. They do say here that they're intending it for PvE, so that is going to be also very interesting. We'll see how that kind of gets unleashed. Maybe it's going to be a lower scale, but you can see it arrives actually in less than a week, April 7th. So be on the lookout for this, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Highly controversial, like I said, and this is just my opinion, but we'll see in the meantime how this is going to be at first, and then we'll revisit this once we give it some time, and once more players have a chance to digest and play through this. Thank you for your time, as always, if you made it to the end of this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.